Welcome to the Blue Ridge Parkway Welcome Center, America's favorite drive. Recognized as a crossroad, natural cultural richness, the parkway serves together as a landscape, and it's 469 miles between the Great Smoky Mountain and Shenandoah National Park, and offers a glimpse into these unique resources. So this is their Welcome Center here in North Carolina, right off I-40. So let's go inside and check it out.
Traveler, what's your pleasure? Is it scenery you're after? Modern highways will take you past cascading streams and sparkling waterfalls, to azure lakes rimmed by high hills, to spectacular Chimney Rock with breathtaking views. To the very top of Mount Mitchell, highest point in the eastern mountain range. Or up the rugged slopes of Old Grandfather himself, which geologists claim is the oldest mountain in the world.
Welcome to the beautiful Blue Ridge Parkway, and this is the Welcome Center at the North Carolina terminus. Now, many of the Welcome Centers have been closed due to damage from Hurricane Helene. This particular Welcome Center primarily gives you some of the places to see on the North Carolina end of things, more specifically the western end. And it gives you a little history of the Civilian Conservation Corps and how the Blue Ridge Parkway was built. If you haven't had a chance to do one of these, the Grand Canyon one, but they have dark sky nights. It's really cool. Of course, there's the beautiful Great Smoky Mountains. So it wouldn't be the national parks up here unless you saw a black bear, and this one's got a little bit of cinnamon brown in him. And there's some different rocks here: quartzite, beryl, humus, granite, pegmati, and greenstone. Different areas here. Here is the bog turtle. Look at that guy. 2,000 types of mushrooms, 100 types of trees, 1,400 kinds of plants.
In spring and early summer, the hills burst into a symphony of color with displays of rhododendron, of mountain laurel,
Of course, you have to know about the indigenous peoples of the area. Eastern Band of the Cherokee. And of course, if you remember from my Cherokee Museum visit, there's the 12 different clans, or not 12, I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 clans. There used to be more, but those are the 7. Let's check out the gift shop. Here's the Blue Ridge Parkway, though. This is a official all the way down from Charlottesville, Virginia to parts of North Carolina. Rode this when I was a kid, actually. We're coming up here for Maggie Valley, North Carolina. We rode a little bit on the parkway. Blue Ridge Parkway, here we go. Oh, I really like that. North Carolina through Virginia. All right, let's continue on here in the museum. Here's some of the technology used to build the Blue Ridge Parkway. Audacious undertaking to provide technology and human vision. Bureau of Public Roads had to clear a lot of area to build it. I guarantee you it started during the Great Depression, let's see, during time to give people jobs. I'll have to look it up, but I guarantee you this was everything created in America you have no idea was for the CCC. 168 bridges span ravines, rivers, and valleys. Wow. Yep. Franklin Delano Roosevelt and Congress get past put people back to work, just as I thought. Some of the engineering tools. Here's some of the local people. This is a really nice, some dolls here. So we're finding more information about these. Biltmore Industries, school at the Southern Highlands, served to preserve the region's strong crafting traditions. So I did read that the Biltmore estate actually destroyed an entire black town here in the area. And of course, there it is right there. They had to destroy a black town to make that, so cause and effect. Of course, here's my favorite pastime, hiking. Grove Park Inn, Hotel Roanoke, Cataloosa Ski Resort. This is all stuff here in North Carolina. Golfing. Auto tourism, as they called it back then. Mile High Mountain, Grandfather Mountain, Mile High Swinging Bridge. Some more outdoor activities here on the parkway, some kayaking. Okay, so Shenandoah National Park, we did that not too long ago, so we're going to start over here in Virginia. Milepost 0 through 217, the first half of the parkway starts in Virginia. Then at milepost 217 to 384, we go through Asheville, North Carolina. And then from milepost 384 to 469, South Asheville. And then moving on here through more of Asheville. I thought it went through some of North Georgia. Maybe I'm wrong. So of course here is some stories about hurricanes that have affected the area. Hurricane Helene that hit last year, obliterated the whole area. Here's some of the pictures from it. And where I'm from in Augusta, we got nailed with really bad winds and lost about 70% of our tree canopy. Here they had a lot of landslides and roads just completely washed out. So these are the parts of the Blue Ridge Parkway that are closed because of Helene. On the way home from the Blue Ridge Parkway, I saw that Greenville was on my stop. Well, it turns out Shoeless Joe Jackson, the famous baseball player, was buried and lived in Greenville, South Carolina. Well, I had to stop and learn a little bit about him. Shoeless Joe Jackson was called Shoeless Joe because he stepped out on the plate one game barefooted, wearing his socks, because his cleats were stiff and brand new and didn't fit his feet, so they were giving him blisters. So he got a hit, ran the bases in his socks, and a fan yelled out, "You son of a gun, Shoeless Joe," thus giving him the name. He had a wonderful career and was only darkened by a conspiracy called the Black Sox, in which many players were bribed to lose games. Well, it turns out that Shoeless Joe Jackson was one of those players, and he was banned from MLB. As of last year, though, however, MLB took him off the ban list. So I was going to go into the Shoeless Joe Jackson Museum here in Greenville, but unfortunately it closed at 5. But that doesn't mean we can't go around and read the historical placard. So this was actually his house. This is where he grew up and where he was born. And the historical placard tells us it was built in 1940. I'm not going to read all of it. And that it was the last home of Shoeless Joe Jackson, one of the greatest natural hitters in the history of baseball. He was actually born here in Pickens County and moved to Greenville as a boy. He worked in the Brandon Mill, joined the Mill baseball team, that's like the company team, and was a star long before he made the majors in 1908. So here he is. And the Ray Liotta character sort of looks like him in Field of Dreams, not quite. He was with the Philly A's, the Athletics, 1908 and 1909. He played for the Naps, 1910-1915, White Sox, 1915-1920. He could bat left and right-handed. Or excuse me, through right-handed, batted left. I'm the other way around. I actually bat right-handed, but I throw left-handed. So he and I have that in common. He batted .408, 1912. He had the most triples, 1913. His slugging percentage was .551. He led the White Sox to a World Series victory against the New York Giants. In 1919, the World Series batting average, .375, third highest career batting average in his career in baseball with a .356. Unfortunately, though, the story with him is, though, that he was implicated in a scandal where a lot of the baseball players called the Black Sox when he was playing for the White Sox, is where bettors would come in and pay baseball players $5,000 to throw a game. And of course, $5,000 back then was a lot of money. And since ball players weren't paid a lot back then, that wasn't a bad deal. So he was implicated. It's debated on whether or not he actually did anything, but he got implicated and lost his career in baseball and came back here to Greenville to run a dry cleaners and then a liquor store. So he batted a .408. He played for the Philadelphia A's. As I just read that already, he helped the White Sox win the 1917 World Series. But he and 7 teammates were banned from baseball for fixing the series in 1909. So this is the house where he died. He moved here in 2006 and opened a museum in 2008. So this was where he died in 1951. And again, so I take you guys inside. There's some really cool memorabilia and stuff, but they closed at 5. But here is a little plaque here. God knows I give my best at all times, and no man on earth can truly judge me otherwise. So that's obviously in reference to his. So there's some of his jerseys. If you look into his house, 3 White Sox jerseys of his, some other things. Actually, they closed at 2 p.m. It's only open on Saturdays. And there's some other items in there. There's him in the baseball team in his White Sox jersey. And of course, if you've ever seen the movie Field of Dreams, you'll recognize the name, Shoeless Joe Jackson. I've seen the movie Field of Dreams so much when I was a kid, and I'll say that the Ray Liotta casting was an interesting choice. He doesn't look entirely like the original Shoeless Joe, but I will say it kind of similar, but not exact. Ray Liotta's nose and his nose aren't exact, but I guess, what are you going to do? And they have more stuff in there. Gosh, I wish I could. They only open 1 day a week, and that's Saturdays. So kind of would have liked to get into the Shoeless Joe Jackson Museum, but oh well. That's all it goes. Let's go see if we can find his final resting place. So I walked out here to the local graveyard, and I found Shoeless Joe Jackson's final resting place, and people were not kidding on the the internet people were saying that people would come here and leave baseball memorabilia at his grave, and that definitely is what people have done. Here is the final resting place of Joseph W. Jackson, and that's Shoeless Joe. He was born in July 16th here in Greenville, 1888, and died December 5th, 1951. And Kate Wynn, I went to look this up and see if that was his wife or sister or mom. Born 1893, died 1959. I'm assuming same age, this is a wife. But people leave baseballs all around his grave and a bat. And people also leave cleats. And if you know the story, the reason he got the name Shoeless was because he actually had a new pair of cleats that were not fitting him well. And so he hadn't broken them in yet. So they were giving his feet blisters really bad. So during one of the games he was playing, he went out and on the field and actually went to plate shoeless in his socks and took a hit and ran the bases in his socks. And one of the fans actually heckled him and said, "You son of a gun, you Shoeless Joe." And that's how the name caught on. So here is his final resting place here in Greenville. If you ever get a chance to come by here, come check it out. The museum is only open one day a week for 2 hours, or a few hours. I think it's 10 to 2. So come check it out. And this is where the final resting place of one Shoeless Joe Jackson is. So that's going to do it from the Blue Ridge Parkway Visitor Center and here in North Carolina in general. I did some Maggie Valley. I did Ghost Town in the Sky. I did a little bit of random antique stores, candy stores, but make sure to go support your national parks wherever you see them. This place, because of the cutbacks, didn't even have air conditioning turned on. They had fans, and it's like 90 degrees out here. So the cutbacks are real, and go support your local national park. Buy something from the gift shop. Learn a little something. Drive the Blue Ridge Parkway. Go to Shenandoah. Go to Great Smoky Mountains. These places are yours. Anyways, that's me on my soapbox. Be sure to like and subscribe. Follow Adventure of the Chris. Check the PayPal for donations to keep this adventure on the road. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Keep on adventuring.